Today we are going to talk about a Salesforce code builder. This is in beta right now, so not available in all the environments or everyone. So if you want to get the demo version, you can install the package and start with it. But just FYI, whatever products we're talking about, so these are not available in the market right now. So this is in beta version. So we're talking about like why do we need this code builder, right? Because first of all, this code builder is cloud based and it is powered by Amazon Web Services, AWS, which lets you launch the IDE from your browser. Like, so imagine, right? If you want to develop a code and like you need to install a lot of tools. Example is like Visual Studio is there, then like you need to install CLI and all the extensions, right? So imagine if you don't have the working computer with you or working laptop or machine with you. So instead of going through all those hassles, right now this code builders provides you to write the code or to do your development activities with the help of just push of a button. So you don't even have to go to a specific like Visual Studio code on your local computer or anywhere. You don't need to install anything or any configurations or any headaches. Also, like, uh, have you guys used the Git, or maybe are you guys aware of Git? What the Git is? So Git is Git, and there are so many version control repositories in the market. But specifically for version control, this Lightning code builder, sorry, this code builder, which is by cloud based, it has the inbuilt integration with Git. So this way, if you want to check in your code, check out your code, or create pull requests, push your code, you can literally do it with the help of just push of a button. And it has all the features which modern IDE provides, which includes the code completion, right? I mean, if you're writing your code and if you want to get any, you can just enter like control space, so that will give you the suggestions. So this way you don't have to remember all the syntaxes. So it helps sometimes when you're writing code, because whenever you're writing your code, you know, imagine like you don't, if you don't remember a specific syntax or format, right? So it will help you out. Then it will help you out with refactoring as well. That means if you're writing your code and like alignment and based on like all the curly braces and basically it's like code formatting. So it would do all that. And this particular cloud-based application provides all the features, almost all the features, not all, on the cloud-based. And you can even do the search operation, so search on your local org or local code base. Then it also supports the Salesforce languages such as Apex, Visual Force Pages, and like we have the Lightning Web Components and all other frameworks. This is very important because if you see Apex is not exactly, I mean, this is Apex is very, very similar to Java, but there are a few things which are different. But this extensions or this IDE provides you that flexibility and support for all the Salesforce languages and all the frameworks. And also like because it works from the browser, you get like flexibility to code from any device. Literally, imagine if you are out at like out in a library and like you don't have all the setup ready, you can just go to your org, just click on a button that will open up the IDE for you. But first of all, like why do we use IDE? Because IDE is very, very powerful, which lets you write your code and like in a configured way. And that code is, you can push it to Salesforce with the help of deploying to Salesforce, because like Salesforce is cloud-based application. So whatever code you write, you have to deploy it to the server in order to make it available, right? So it has all the features available. Then also like code builder makes it easy for all the admins and developers to work in the cloud without having to worry about downloading any software, which we already talked about. And also like machine specifications, right? You know what I mean? So imagine like if in order to install some softwares, you need to have certain specific or configuration of that particular software, but you don't need to worry about that. If you have a browser with you and Salesforce credential, that's it. That's what you need. And it is providing you all the developer modern developer experience for all the developers, regardless of expertise level. So which is like very, very important because it provides the seamless view and experience for all the developers. So we're gonna see the quick view, like how it's gonna look. So if you take a look at the left hand side, there is an activity bar. So this activity bar will show you all your all the extensions, not extension, all the modules you can click on. So first of all, first is like if you see that there is one files icon, as soon as you click there, you will see all the local folder and you will see all your files there, including all the code repository. Then you can do the search operation. Then you can do the git, like it has the extension to git. That's what I talked about. This is the third one. Then we have the extension to Salesforce. Then we have settings. So this is like almost similar to the Visual Studio Code, which we already use from Microsoft. This is basically a cloud-based version. Then we have the activity bar. Then we have a sidebar. That sidebar will give you all the exploring options, including all the files. As soon as you click on any file, the file will open in editor. If you see the right hand side, so that this particular section is for the editors, wherein you can write your code. If you want to open specific thing, just click on the sidebar particular file, and that will open in your editor. Then then we have a panel. So, and we have a status bar. So status, if you go to status bar, you will see multiple things there. So you can see how many orgs you have attached to for this particular Visual Studio Code. Then you will see if it is being, if there are any errors or if there are any warnings. So that will show up in the status bar. And then we have a panel. So that panel will have multiple tabs that includes problems. If you have any errors, it will show there. Then output is kind of debug. Then we have terminal. Through terminal, you can run all your commands. That includes like CLI commands or SFDX commands, whatever you need. Then you have a debug console as well. And if you see on right hand side, we have like org browser. So basically, and this is one of the one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh tab on your activity bar. So if you see on your right hand side, as soon as you click there, it will pull or it will show you all the metadata available in that org. If you want to get the refreshed copy, you just need to click on the like download button. Like if you see there, there is a download button there. And if you want to refresh the metadata, just click on left hand side icon. So that will refresh the metadata. So it includes everything. That includes like email notification, flows, Apex classes, your actions, almost everything. Whatever you could get in your metadata, you will see everything in this org browser. So this was about the actual usage. Now we're going to talk about the specific commands. So commands are exactly similar to the way we use it for Visual Studio Code. I'm sure you must have used Visual Studio Code. If not, we're going to see that. But because like all the developers usually nowadays, I mean, specifically for Salesforce, even Salesforce recommends to use Visual Studio Code. And there are specific commands. If you want to open a particular, if you want to open the command palette, you can just click on like Control Shift P for Windows or Control Shift P for Mac OS or like Linux. And like if you see the command palette will open, and as soon as you write SFDX, it will show you all the commands available for the Salesforce. So SFDX is like basically for Salesforce related all the commands. So basically, first thing what we do usually is like authorize an org. So this is what it is doing. So if you see the selected option, so that's what it is. It's letting you select the authorize an org. As soon as it will open up the browser, or it will ask you like what environment you want to connect to. Either it could be sandbox, it could be like production environment, and based on your option selection, it will open up the new tab, and that tab will let you authorize through your Salesforce org. And as soon as you authorize there, that org will be connected to this this cloud-based code builder. Then another big thing or good thing is about this is you can connect multiple Salesforce orgs. I mean, you don't have to worry about, okay, like if you have like sandbox, two sandboxes, production environment, like how do I connect? Do I need to have like separate UI for that? No, you can connect all different Salesforce orgs into one, exactly similar to the Visual Studio Code. And if you want to change a particular org, you can just click on this. Like if you see the status bar, you can just click there. It will give an option like how many orgs have you connected to and which one do you want to select. And whatever org you select, the metadata and everything will be applicable for that particular org. So if you download something, it will be downloaded from that org. Then yeah, very interesting. We have, you can even write the SOQL queries here. So this particular option we have, like if you open the SOQL, you can write your own queries. The one we used to do with like Workbench, you can even do everything in here. So you can even see the actual data here, which you can export to either JSON or either you can export to as a CSV. And it has provided a nice UI for you, which will let you build SOQL queries based on the object, then based on the filters and everything. And as soon as you run your query, you will see the results on right hand side, which you can download it. Then important part is, or like very important, is like the CLI commands. So if you guys are aware of Salesforce CLI, which is very, very useful, so you guys can just go to the terminal and write your commands, and all the CLI commands, you can use it here, and like everything works. Then conflicts management. So if you have any conflict, example, if you have some code which is conflicting to the actual code, so the conflict management is provided by the Visual Studio Code. That means this code builder. This is similar to the one we have for the Visual Studio Code. So this one we can do. Then yeah, we have multiple options here. Either you want to deploy on save. Example is that, consider if you're writing a code and if you want to deploy your changes to actual org, so sometimes we just have to right click and deploy to server. That's what we do. But if you want to just deploy it every time you save your changes, you can even turn on that option, and that option is available in the settings. So you can just either enable it or disable it. It all depends on developer, how he recommends or how comfortable he is with all of the stuff. And yeah, so in order to get the package, we're going to talk about like how we're going to see like how the package is going to work, and we'll see a short demo. But before I show you the demo, I want to show you like I want to tell you like this particular code builder is right now in beta. So it has capped the usage for 20 hours per month for 30 days. I mean, so you can only use it for 20 hours. So just make sure whenever you open the Salesforce code builder, you just close the browser. So this way your hours won't be wasted. You know what I mean? So I like, that's what it says. Like just save your work, close the browser tab, that's running the code, and that's it. Then the clock will stop. So let's go ahead. And before we go ahead, I'll just want to show you the quick demo, like how it is going to look like. Let me just go first and start sharing the whole screen. A tab. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? Okay, let me just see. Okay. So yeah, so first of all, like whenever you go there, so there is a package like Salesforce Code Builder App Exchange package. If you just go to like Salesforce Code Builder App Exchange, you will see the App Exchange package here. So that this, you'll need to install this package in your org in order to see the code builder, right? So if you see here, you can just go there and just click on Get It Now. So as soon as you get it now, it will ask you for the installation, like or your org, and where do you want to install it, either sandbox or full copy, or either you want to install on your developer org. So based on that, once you install this, you should see it in your install packages. So I've already installed this, so I'm not going to install it again. So if you see here, builder beta is already installed. So yeah, now let's just see like how we can open it up. So if you want to open up the Salesforce code builder, just click on app launcher, just search for code builder. So you will see what tab there. So this is the app. So as soon as you click on this app, it will ask you to connect your org to the code builder, which is still loading. This is how you will see the screen. So I was talking about the 20 hours, right? So if you see here right now, I have used the 1 hour there. So I have only 18 hours, 51 minutes remaining, right? So it's going to expire on 27th of December. And it has like a nice links, which you can go through. You can either go to like visit Trailhead. You can go to the documentation here. So this is like really cool. So this way you don't have to go anywhere else. Just click on this button and that will take you to the code builder quick start. So right now I have already connected my org. So I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to launch it. But like right now I'm seeing the launch button because I've already connected this org. But if not, you will see the different button. You will see the button to connect the org. So I'm just gonna click on launch button here. And now we are opening up the Salesforce code builder. It's just setting it up, so it might take a little. Let me just try to click again. I'm sorry, it's taking some time, but hopefully we'll see the results soon. Okay, so soon is almost here. So now this is how the code builder is going to look. Can you guys see this? So boom. So we just opened it. And right now, all the things which I was talking about, everything is available here. If you see this, we have like the status bar, we have the activity bar, we have the editor. And if you want to do any save any changes, you can just, right now it's already connected. Imagine if you want to connect new org, just click on Control Shift and P and then click on SFDX. This is what I was talking about. As soon as you do that, you will see all the Salesforce related options here, similar to Visual Studio Code. So if you want to authorize any org, you can just click on authorize the org. It will ask you either it could be like production, sandbox, or whatever. So right now I'll just select the production. You can just give the name, demo, or whatever, XYZ. And if you do that, it's gonna ask you to open it, and that's it. It is asking you to enter the code because this is already connecting. And well, yeah, I mean, basically this is how it is. So this is asking me to allow the access. I'm just doing it, and it says, okay, and boom, I'm connected to my org now. So this is how you're going to connect your org. And right now, if you see on the right-hand corner, it says authorize an org successfully ran. So if you are done with any changes, consider if I'm adding some change, like okay, adding a comment, right? So I'm just doing any changes here, adding a comment. As soon as you click on save, you can just click on right click and just click on deploy this source to org. So as soon as you do that, it should deploy the changes to in your Salesforce org. Similarly, once you click here, you can browse all the metadata of your org, including all the Apex classes, pages, and everything. And I was talking about the Git. So if you see here, so this is the Git repository, wherein you can configure all your uh, like version control, right? So you can see the GitHub has already connected to this org, and you just need to initialize the repository and provide your credentials there. So this is what the UI looks like, and which is almost similar to Visual Studio Code, right? But the thing is that it doesn't have all the feature though. So if you think about extensions, you in normal Visual Studio Code you can add the extensions, but here you cannot. I mean, there are only specific extensions which can be enabled. You cannot add all the extensions here. Only so that is another thing, because as it's the like cloud-based version, so there are few limitations to it. And one of the biggest limitations right now is the 20 minutes window, so 20 hours window. So as soon as you are done with your code, just close the tab. So as soon as you close the tab, that should close the or that should stop the clock. So let's go back to our stuff. Okay, so let's just see here the final thing. What are the differences? So Code Builder is installed as a managed package. Just now we saw that. Like you, in order to get the package, you need to go to our App Exchange, download the package and install it there. And another difference is like unlike the VS Code for desktop, you can't really add any new extension to it. And also like the code builder is like a little bit lightweight and optimized to run in the cloud. We have certain features, like access to certain features are limited. So just like whenever you are trying to use it, just make sure like you are considering all these factors before you move to the Salesforce code builder. But the thing is that as far as I know, developers and everyone is going to love this because they don't have to worry about the local softwares, right? Because I've seen so many companies, they have a lot of restrictions. You can't do that, you can do this. So I think this is going to be really helpful for everyone, and you don't have to worry about any installation, any infrastructure. So this is going to be cool. So I'm just moving on to any questions. Do you guys have any questions about this or anything? Feel free to ask.
So do you know when are they going to release the full?
Yeah. So the thing is that they are still working on this, and they have no date as of now. That's the reason they are just limiting it to 20, so that way people will start using it, and if they have any questions or if they have any issues or limitations, they will try to fix it. So that's how it's going on. But right now there is no specific what I can say date. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone on the?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I put it also here in the chat. My question. So, is there any requirement to install this managed package of code for Code Builder? I mean, you can install it in any org, like in your dev
Yeah.
org or whatever.
Right.
Are
So
any requirements? Yeah.
yeah, so this is package. So you can either install it in your sandbox or either you can install it anywhere. So right now, if you see, I've installed this in my developer org. So
Oh, okay.
so there is no limitation as such. You can install it in sandbox or either in your full copy.
Oh,
That's a
great.
good. Yeah. So I mean, so this was overall about our Salesforce code builder. So if you have any questions, oh, I see a lot of people have put in the request for LinkedIn. So yeah, we should join on LinkedIn. This is cool. And also like we have created a LinkedIn group recently, so feel free to join there. And also like we're gonna post a lot of cool stuff on it. And I think Monica has created that group, and the link is there in our event description. We also have a charter group wherein we have a lot of people in there. But yeah, I mean, this was overall about code builder. um, if you don't have any questions, I think we can wrap up this call. And I really want to thank you everyone for joining this. And I hope to see you guys in next event.
Yes, thank you guys for joining, and hope to see you next time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.